We take what people say about us so seriously, and why is that the case? Some of these people, you don't know them, you will never ever know them. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Janneil Pilgrim, and I'm the friend that tells you the truth about your makeup. So if you're interested in finding out how to do your makeup, or somebody that actually tells you about that ghostly look, sis, go ahead and click the subscribe button and ensure you join the family. So guys, today I'm taking a break from the October takeover looks. Just been having a little bit of trouble getting some of the stuff that I need to do, but I still want to make videos for you guys. I don't want to leave you guys hanging. So today's video, I'm going to do like a self-worth, self-confidence kind of chat. This was something requested a really long time ago, and since I have the time, I'm just gonna go ahead and try to film a video for you guys. Obviously I'm gonna be doing my face because I don't have no one else to talk to. So it's just gonna be me and you guys, just talking, and y'all tell me down in the comments like what you feel about what I'm saying. Okay, so let's get into the video. So as you guys know, I always do my eyebrows off camera. If you're new here, I always do my eyebrows off camera. I'm going to be doing a eyebrow tutorial video for you guys. So fret not. The kids are also in the background, so if you hear a lot of noise and all that stuff, just kind of ignore it because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to be using the Spanglish Press Pigment Palette as well as the Violet Voss palette. In the spirit of everything October, I'm going to be keeping it festive, right through, festive, right through. What exactly is self-worth? What is that? You'd want to think that self-worth and self-confidence are directly related, but they aren't. Somebody's self-confidence can be so high and they don't really value themselves, and that's what self-worth essentially is, how much you really value yourself. I'm going to be using this Wild Orchid color in the Essentials 2 palette as a crease color. I'm speaking for myself. I know that I didn't get there overnight to like understand my worth, and I didn't really get there overnight when you're talking about having self-confidence either, because for a very long time I would allow people to like get away with things in my life that if I even say it out loud, it just sounds crazy to me now, because it would never happen that way. No, I would never allow that to happen to me. No. I believe that as young women, at some point in our lives, we can attest that, or either or self-confidence or self-worth was never like up to par. It was never a poo. Speaking for me specifically, one of the key things that damaged my self-confidence was going to high school. Why am I talking and not doing the eyeshadow? I hate that for you guys. I don't even want to be cryptic and say that everything took a turn for the worst, but it's just that I can't even figure out why I didn't really have a good foundation, because I didn't have a mother that put me down. I had family members who insisted on telling me that I was beautiful. Just quickly gonna use beige from this palette. One of the first things that began to affect me was the mere fact that when you go to high school, like everybody starts talking about who's pretty, and that was a thing. I kid you not, that word was so popular. Who is pretty and what their own definition of pretty was, and I was not that. Nobody thought I was that. I didn't, and then them not thinking that I was that affected me. I really had to bring you guys a little bit closer because I felt like you guys weren't seeing everything I was doing. And this is kind of not an explanation video, it's kind of a look and learn video, because we're doing the little chit chat, so I'm not really like explaining everything that I'm doing. Social media started to become very, very popular. At that time, it was mainly Facebook. Either you were cool or you weren't cool. And to be cool, you had to be pretty. To make matters worse, I wasn't like rich. I went to an all-girls school, right? So it's either you were pretty, you're not wealthy, but you're average, like middle class, or it would be that you're not so good looking, but you have the money to make up for it because your family is wealthy. So you get like a little free pass. That's kind of how I saw that it was set up. And that started to like take a toll on my self-confidence. Oh, let me tell you as a little story. So like one time I remember, because as I tell you, like Facebook was like popular. I posted this photo on Facebook, right? My ears weren't pierced. Yeah, so I wasn't considered like that. So because my mom would allow me to pierce my ears. This is so embarrassing. My mom wouldn't allow me to pierce my ears. So I took one of her knobs. Oh Lord Jesus. And I kinda held up the knob to my ear like this. So that I would look like I'm wearing an earring. But you can see that I'm holding up the knob. You could see that I'm holding up this knob to my ear. When I did that, I felt like I looked 10,000 times better, honestly. This girl that was friends with me on Facebook, she came to school and she was in class. She was like to her friends, "Don't you think Janneil is pretty? I think she's pretty." Now when people look at me, I don't even care. But back then, I would get so anxious. You know what the girl them said? They were like,
What?
no. I felt so ashamed, but I had to like pretend I didn't hear. I don't know how to pronounce this word in the palette. It looks like guau. I don't know what that means. They said these apply better when wet. I don't understand like why we as women feel the need to want to impress everybody. Not bashing anybody that does surgery or wants to get surgery done or whatever. I don't really care, but God says that we're fearfully and wonderfully made, right? And sometimes as humans, we begin to doubt that, and that is fine. People really and truly try to fix themselves, and it doesn't go right all the time because we take what people say about us so seriously. And why is that the case? Some of these people, you don't know them, you will never ever know them. That was one of the problems. I let that affect me way too much. This is the one I'm gonna use next. It's peril like. It's literally saying but like. Essentially what I'm trying to say is that we just ought to love ourselves the way we are. And if you want to change something, that's fine too. If you feel like if you change something and you will feel better about yourself, that's okay. But you have to start loving yourself. Another thing that really affects your self-confidence, and I don't feel like a lot of people really talk about this.
Money.
I don't want to place everything on high school, but honestly, high school taught me a lot. When you're in university, there are so many people that you and their paths never really get intertwined. My experience may be different from yours because I went to an all-girls school, but I think money is a universal language. Janneil, why are you saying that? Because the amount of money that you have is going to determine the kind of clothes that you buy, what you wear, where you can go, and the things that you can do. I'm gonna break it down for you guys. My family is not rich. I would say that we're like middle class, average people can afford like average kind of things. I, on the other hand, would not be able to go to my mom and ask her for money to splurge on things that she didn't deem important. I wouldn't be able to afford designer things. We can see that still jumping out even on social media and those kind of stuff. Everything that people see other people doing, they want to run with it. I tried to put on a brave face like those things did not affect me, or I didn't care that I couldn't get certain things. At one point in high school, there was this thing called a shambala, and you used to wear it around your hand, right? And it cost at that point, I could never look at my mom and say, "Mommy, I want money just to buy this little piece of thing to put around my hand." That was not something important. That was not something for school. That was not like a need. It was just something that I wanted to flaunt so that other persons knew that I had it. The fact that I couldn't get that, it made me feel somewhat less, even though I'm not. I had to start looking at it for myself and be like, Janneil, if you get this shambhala thing, you start feeling better about yourself, then what? Something else come in that you know that you probably can't afford again, and you just kill up yourself for this one, the trend never even lasts that long. That's how I had to start looking at it. When I started, I didn't even know that birthday parties were still a huge thing when you were no longer a child. In high school, I started to learn that. So I had parties from I was 1 to about 9 years old, and then I told my mom like, oh, parties, yeah. I'm tired of having parties now. That to show you how spoiled I was. I don't know why I did this to myself. Okay, we move. At the time, I was saying that these parties are really extravagant. All my life growing up, I thought that, my family was rich. We're not rich. This is what rich is. Those kind of stuff affected my self-confidence in a way. And then another thing that affected my self-confidence was where I lived. Everybody else that you started to meet here live in what you call uptown places. And what's the lingo that you use in like Canada? If you ever watched like Gossip Girl and they said like the Upper East Side, and I'm talking about the early parts of high school when I was trying to really find out who I am and all of that stuff. One thing I'm thankful for is that I didn't go out of my way to like be a part of any of these cliques. I would never fit in, so I didn't try to. I didn't give nobody no wrong address because I feel like the truth always catches up to you, and nobody really likes a liar. Who wants to be friends with a liar? So I didn't try to hide where I lived. And even after you tell them, they'll be like, oh, that's where you live? I'll be like, yeah, that's where I live. That's where I live. I'm not rich. That's exactly where I live. I want you guys to comment down below and tell me if I'm on track so far. If you felt this kind of way, because I want to know if I'm the only person that felt like these affected my self-confidence. One of the last things, if boys viewed you as attractive, then that made you attractive in high school. If they viewed you as not attractive, then I know most girls for a fact felt that way. Even though I felt some kind of way about me, I've never like had any male tell me that you look terrible. And I think also that damages your self-confidence. And don't let me even get started on rumors.
The tea is exceptionally good today.
I've had people say things about me that were not entirely true. I've had people say things about me, and that's honestly really affected how I viewed myself at a point in life. Now I could really care less about what people say about me. I've grown so much, I know who I am. And not that I don't value anybody's opinions, but if you have anything negative or that sort of thing to say about me, I really do not care. That is where it's at. I know me, and the fact that I know me is enough for me. How I developed this kind of self-confidence, getting to know God and having a closer relationship with Him. You see, when you know that God loves you, it doesn't matter who else doesn't. It could have been your mother, could have been your father, it could have been all of the people in the world without you, including family and friends. None of that can affect your self-confidence. And they can try, and they sure do try. But none of that stuff can affect your self-confidence anymore. I promise you. One of the other things, anybody that's like negative, anybody that tries to put me down, I definitely stay away from them. There is a very big difference with somebody giving you constructive criticism based on how far they think you can go, and somebody being negative and trying to put you down. And a lot of people try to hide behind the fact that, friendship or family or whatever, they're just looking out for you. They're being quote unquote honest. And there's a difference between, as I said, honesty and just being plain negative. And a lot of people, especially people that you are close to, can be very, very, very negative. So I don't surround myself with anybody that doesn't view me in the light that I view me. Period. I don't know how better to explain that to you guys, but I hope you guys really do get what I'm saying. If you come to be right now, I was a person that I really loved to think that everybody, liked me, or not that I would go out of my way to be liked or whatever, but I like the idea that I am liked. When you stop caring about who likes you and who don't like you, it does make life a lot simpler. Everybody won't like me, and that's okay. If you worry less about those people that don't like you and focus your energy on people who do love you and people who do build you up, it actually really does help you. As for the aspect of money, some of these things really are fleeting. That's how I started thinking about it back then, and that's how I think about it now. If you stop focusing on everything that you don't have, you have more time to focus on things that are your goals. You need to work on you and find all the reasons to love you. And then when you love you, everything will start to come together. It's not the money or the things that the money can buy you, but I think you just need to at first be happy with you. And then once you're happy with you, you start attracting those things that you want for your life. Self worth. What is it exactly? And don't quote me on this because obviously I'm not no like psychologists are like one of them people. I feel like it's how you value yourself. Let me just tell you guys one of the things that affected my self-worth when I was much younger. I have to make a disclaimer before I begin. I'm not trying to invalidate anybody's feelings or invalidate what anybody else is going through. I'm just explaining what I have been through. In Jamaica, like colorism is rampant. It's something that is very evident. It's wide out in the open. It's something that it's embedded in our society, and some people do it and they don't even realize. It normally happens to people of darker skin tones, someone darker than I am. When I was younger, cause I was lighter than this when I was younger, they used to make really weird jokes about me in prep school. Some of the girls were darker than me, so they used to do these, what we call it in Jamaica is like a mock. It's something that they repeat, and they used to say, black is beauty and brown is corruption. Now that I've grown up, I'm just wondering like why they would feel like they're black and I'm not black. You know what, let me just see my tablet before I started. Now that I finished doing that, I felt I was not important. When I started getting older, I realized why they had to do that, because colorism was so rampant in Jamaica. They were so down on darker skinned black girls. So they made that little jeer or mock towards lighter girls like myself so that they could, establish that yes, our complexion is beautiful as well. But they did that at the cost of putting me down. So, imagine somebody saying that they're beautiful and your color means that you are essentially something very ugly. It affected my self-worth somehow. The next thing that affected both my self-worth and my self-confidence was my features. Guys, what does this remind you of? I put on blush and I put on my eyelashes. There's just a lot of noise around here, and I really just want to get done with filming my features. They didn't make me the most liked. My hair color wasn't something that was common. Some people even called it dirty, and people still do call it dirty because I haven't like changed it. My nose, I don't really have like a defined nose bridge, and then my nostrils are and were huge. It didn't help that my eyes were extremely small as well. I went to use the Shine and Jam. Trying to do a little something something. Guys, I can't come here. I feel adventurous tonight. If this turns out good, I'm wearing it to church tomorrow. I thought at the time that my features just made me look weird. Those were the stuff that I would talk about, like why couldn't I be made like a normal person? Why couldn't I have regular size eyes? Why did my lips have to be so large? That's the kind of stuff that I thought about. I thought no one else in my family looked like me. And none of them really do. When I was in like the 6th grade, this little boy, he was like, Jenny's sister Pitty, so why she look like that? Over time, I have really grown to love my features, and it was not makeup that helped either. Guys, I can't do this properly, so please, nobody fraught up in the comments. I just thought to myself that I was not conventionally beautiful. I told you guys that I started doing makeup 4 years ago, and I had to start liking who I was before that. I had to start valuing me outside of what my appearance might have looked like. What makes Janneil, and call your name when you're saying this, what makes blank, and I always say Janneil, valuable? I had to start establishing boundaries. What would I not put up with? What was I not going to accept? What did I think was too much? I drew that line. Valuing myself now was no longer something that I had to learn. For example, I am somebody who has always struggled with my weight. I've had to develop like a really thick skin when people, especially like people in my family, joke about it. And that's not something that should really be okay. It wasn't until I started establishing like boundaries. I can't change who I am. So it's either you're going to be okay with it and stop talking about it, or me just I got distance myself. Jamaican coming. I'm just going to distance myself from you. How do you guys talk while y'all do this? Oh my god. I can't believe I'm combing my hair on YouTube. That's like something that I've always said that I'd never do in front of people. I don't even like to do it in front of people. I'm not saying to anybody that it's going to come overnight, because it won't. But I'm telling you that once you start doing stuff like this, that it will get easier for you. The last thing, not only telling myself that I deserve the best and nothing else will do, but meaning it. If I felt like a situation was no longer serving me, I take myself out of every equation that I believe is not the best fit for me. This is really, really crazy. I could leave it like this, but only if these countries are. This is honestly my speed. Tell me if it's not giving you like rock star vibes. Besides me starting to value myself more, it just brought so many good stuff into my life. I'm really gonna try to finish this so I can like stop chatting you guys out now, because I know you guys are tired of me. I'm tired of me. Okay guys, so we've reached the end of the video. Apparently, like, I went in a completely different direction for the hair. Like, nothing was working out, so I just decided that I was going to do this. Guys, I hope you did enjoy the video. Please remember to comment down below and tell me if you like the final look, and also if I made some strong points, and interact with me, guys. Also, if you would like an entire video, like another one of these sit down makeup videos just talking about body image and those kind of stuff, and that way you guys can like send me questions on my Instagram that you'd like me to answer. I'm trying to finish the rest of the October takeover series. As I said, I had to pause because I didn't get the rest of my outfits yet, but trust me, they come in for the edges. Oh my god, speaking of edges, look at my edges, guys. Put to bed, laid to rest, hun. But yes, guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Come on the journey with us. Remember, I'm the friend that tells you the truth about your makeup. I always stop people from looking ghostly over here. Everybody wearing natural faces and looking real cute over this side. Period. And remember to share with your friends. And thank you guys so much for watching. You know that I love you. Peace out.